The first concept video, the third video in the series on reality transurfing, is here. Welcome to the video. It's the alternative space. So this is going to be a 18-part series. If you haven't seen the first two videos, they are crucial. If you get any value out of this video, you might want to go watch those. If you are looking to understand reality transurfing, this is a book that I spent 8 months studying, and there is not much information about it on the internet to help bring people in. It's a very deep, like 600 for this version, 800 page for the softcover book. And if someone just wants to understand what it's all about, this series is for you. There's nothing else on the internet that's going to do anything near what I'm doing here, laying out all the concepts in an 18-part series. So if that's your intention with this video, go watch the first two, especially the second one was a 30-minute broad overview of reality transurfing. It was absolutely fire. I just laid everything out, did an outline of everything we're going to be covering in the series. So this first one is on the alternative space, reality transurfing, one of my favorite books. What I said in the last video, I did a little summary of everything it's going to be, is I use the analogy of a forest. You're in a dark forest. Close your eyes. As you're watching this video, unless you're driving, close your eyes right now. Imagine, just for a second, that your eyes are so heavy that you cannot open them, and your body just on its own relaxes all the way down. You look around and there is a dark forest. It is nighttime. You are on a walk. This forest stretches out infinitely in every direction. Every part of the forest is a little reality. Think of it as like there's a big row of trees and there's all these little rooms. One reality is in your past. Another reality is in your future. Another reality is where you are right now. And that's where you happen to be on your walk. You're holding a torch, and because you're holding a torch, all you can see is that reality that's around you right now. And now imagine for a second that you become aware all these other realities, all these realities that you want to get to, they actually already exist in this eternal moment. They're all around you. They're already there. And all you have to do is bring your torch up to them and take a walk. And that reality will manifest in the physical. It exists in the alternative space. All right, if your eyes are still closed, wide awake. Wide awake. And what this is the alternative space. That's the analogy I used in the last video. Another little painting, another little metaphor from the book of reality transurfing is, what is it? It was like the ocean or some shit. What do we got here? That's funny. Hopefully that caught your attention enough that you'll give me a second to look at my notes. Oh yeah, thought energy. There's going to be another video about energy. Thought energy. Your energy is like a wave. The torch is like a wave in this vast ocean, and a current wave is using energy. We'll have a video about energy to bring a certain reality into manifestation, into your direct experience, into consciousness, and into actuality. Everything is there in the eternal moment. There is not space and time limiting reality. It is your thought energy that determines which sector of reality is currently manifest to your consciousness, to yourself. So, the alternative space is the framework for which all of reality transurfing will fit into. It is essentially the map of reality. When we're talking about surfing between these realities, we're talking about surfing between realities within the alternative space. So, that kind of explains it. We're going to talk about a couple more things, but this is overall going to be a quick video. The reason, and this is something I talked about earlier in the series, this will be a quick video, is because we are laying the foundation. When I read this book, the first half of the book, I'm like, oh my God, this is kind of boring. I don't see how it all fits together. But it was fascinating. I was like, wow, this is a crazy model. The second half of the book is when everything really comes together. So same with the series. I'm not going to try, this series is going to be like as quick as possible to try and get some of the value of reality transurfing. Hopefully it gets you to go read the book. But at the same time, we do have to do some level of laying out the foundation. So this is the foundation to understand that reality is this alternative space. You got to go watch my first two videos about this. I'm not going to talk about this too much more. You got to throw out the materialistic paradigm. You got to throw out your conceptual models of how reality works, temporarily adopt this one, and see if that helps you interact with reality in a better way. So Every organism contributes to the material realization around us within the alternative space. Oh, this is a good one. Any branch of knowledge, let's say the materialistic paradigm, any conceptual model within your head is, what is it? How do they say? They say is essentially a perspective. A perspective is a reality. Like I said in the last video with the looking at the wall exercise, a perspective you hold is the reality you are in. It is not a mindset. The perspective you hold, how you interpret and understand the world around you, is the reality that you are in. So, whatever sector of the alternative space that you are in is essentially a perspective, a mental model. That is a huge factor of it. So you need to understand that when you're looking at the alternative space, your thoughts, your beliefs, your subconscious mind, all of this is the reality that you're in. It's not that your subconscious mind, like maybe psycho-cybernetics would say, there's this external physical world. Your subconscious mind influences how you react with reality. No, your subconscious mind, your perspective, is the sector of the alternative space that you're in. So, yeah, there's reality transurfing. You can see I really read it in the wilderness for 4 months. And let's see what else we got. Yeah, so you got to get out of the understanding of time and the unfolding and development of a material world. That there is this unfolding and development of an external, physical, atomistic reality that is objective. You've got to get out of that understanding. There is an infinite set of possibilities within consciousness, and there is one particular materialization that is around you. Oh yeah, this is a final thought here. Thoughts, and actions create your reality in the same way. Get rid of that distinction. Of course, we will draw a distinction, but at a certain level of understanding how the alternative space works, everything is the same. Everything influences the alternative space. Your thoughts are actions. Your actions are thoughts. They're one and the same, and they, at least in the way that they affect the reality around you, that they affect the alternative space. Because both are energies that influence which sector of the alternative space manifests. So that's everything I had in my notes about the alternative space. That is the foundation for reality transurfing. Reality transurfing, like I said, is about how to go with the flow of life, how to tap into your deepest intentions from a place of internal fulfillment and non-neediness, to tap into the heart, to tap into the will of God, to tap into the will of the universe. And maybe just like stepping outside of reality transurfing, how do you view this within the terms of metaphysics? Let's say you're into non-duality. You're into understanding there is no self and other. All dualities collapse into one singularity, one reality. Concepts are not reality. Yes, that's true. This concept is a model. That is not reality. It is not the absolute truth that reality exists as an alternative space. The way that I look at the model of the alternative space is the exact same way I look at science. Science, okay, this is made of atoms. This book is made of atoms. We got some Alex Hormozy here. It's a physical world. What does that model do? That model is actually incredibly accurate at predicting what results will come from actions. That's what a perspective is. And why is science believed to be the truth? Why are we so bought into this materialistic paradigm? Because it is incredibly effective a lot of the time, especially when you believe in that paradigm, at predicting how the material world, which is really just how your consciousness will work. So I hold this model of science. Mathematically, wow, that experiment, just like all these laws of physics are just so good at predicting what will happen. And so when we look at the model of the alternative space, I don't want you to take this on as a belief. I don't want you to say, oh, now I understand how reality works. This is my belief. We're in the alternative space. Yay! Hold it loosely. Hold it as a model that you are using, that you are experimenting with to see how well this model predicts the world. So I'm not going to cover this with every video, but apply this to the entirety of the series. Every perspective, every concept we will be covering in this video is a mental model, just like any other mental model, and it is to help you interact, I said react instead of interact twice now, interact with reality. So hold it loosely. Don't turn it into a belief system. It will do nothing for you as a belief system. It will do a lot for you as a mental model that you use and you practice. So practice it as a mental model. Hold it loosely. So what is the alternative space? Nothing. It doesn't exist. This is reality. Reality is your consciousness. What is consciousness? Oh, it's phenomena. That's another mental model. Reality is actual consciousness. Okay? So don't get lost up in the concept. Don't think like, oh, but let's be honest. So it is a really good model. It does explain how reality works. And it is not less true than science. Stop trying to quantify mental models as more true and less true. That's a fundamental epistemological misunderstanding of how conceptual models work. The nature of a conceptual model is that it has nothing to do with truth. Truth is not something that happens within the context of a conceptual model. And now I could go on and make a whole 4-hour video about that, but we're not going to do that. This is the reality transurfing series. And I would just say, if you want to practice reality transurfing, go do it like this. Understand it like that. If maybe it works and you're like, I want to believe this is reality. Okay, go do that later. And holding reality transurfing as a belief, that is actually not going to necessarily sabotage your ability to do reality transurfing. But I think it's good to have this proper foundation before we get into it. So next video, we're going to be talking about pendulums. I really can't think of anything else about the alternative space. You don't need to have this really deep understanding. So the alternative space works like this and this. It's like, you got it, okay? You got it. You got the understanding of the alternative space. If you go read the book, you're going to get a lot more. But for the purpose of this series, that's it. So if you've got this far in the video, there's no reason you shouldn't be liking and commenting, because you've probably gotten some value. I've been working on this for 8 months. I want people to see it. Go watch the entire series. Go like and comment on the entire series. If you've watched to this point, if you've gotten value out of this, this whole series is going to integrate it into your mind, give you a much deeper understanding. And whether you've read the book or not, it's going to be a great refresher. For me, I'm going to go watch through this series maybe once a year to remind myself of all the concepts. Maybe reread the book every 5 years because it's a big book. I don't know. But whatever it may be, I encourage you to go watch the entirety of this series. Subscribe, like, comment. Just help me out here. I'm not making money off this. I want people to see these videos. And so if you've watched to this point, no reason not to do that. Anyways, peace.